Let's talk about the resources and toolkit that are available to you in this program to help you plan effective sessions. You've probably all heard the expression, plan your work and work your plan. Well, there's a lot of wisdom in that. And in light of that, I'd like you to think about what you're going to find in this particular section of the program now to help prepare you to put together an effective planning strategy for training or coaching. First off, you'll see that there's reference to skill competence builders. So whether you're taking something from the program, which could be the sales diamond, it could be the priority triangle or matrix, it could be any of the various tools and resources we have here, think of what it is that you need to be able to provide your students or the people that you're coaching as a resource or as a reference. So when we talk about the resource toolkit, make sure that you have everything ready and you're not simply trying to explain it, but rather able to show people and demonstrate the process or the system or whatever it happens to be that you're teaching them. Next to that, I'd like to talk a bit about techniques. And this is really techniques that are going to make you more effective as a presenter. So once you've got your material and the resources in place, you really have to look at yourself. And looking at yourself involves thinking of how you communicate. When you communicate verbally, do people understand you? Are you clear? Do you have presence when you're standing in front of people? Are you slouching? These are things that we often take for granted, yet you as the presenter, you as the facilitator, or even if you're doing one-on-one coaching using the material here, need to be on the top of your game in order to model the behaviors and set an example for those people that you're trying to teach or that you're coaching. So that means listening. It also means how you communicate. Do you speak clearly? The words that you use. Do you have stories and examples that you can use to illustrate the points that you're making? Are they compelling? Are they interesting? Think of your best stories. Share them with people. They want to know you're real. They don't just want something slick and polished. They actually want to connect with you on a personal level. Beyond that, think of your body language. When you are standing or even if you're sitting coaching someone, think of how you're coming across. If you're slouching in your chair and if you're gazing up at the ceiling, they don't really feel that you care about them. These are all things that you need to be paying attention to. And again, all that I'm doing here in terms of the material in this section is reminding you, pay attention to how you come across. Think about how you present. Be intentional. Now, just a sidebar that you may want to consider. What I found was really helpful as I was doing presenting and teaching earlier in my career, I had people sit in and audit me. And you may have that whether you want it or not. Somebody that is putting you through this program may simply want to drop in and see how you're doing. If they're not, I would encourage you to get someone that you trust, a trusted advisor, a colleague, a coach, or a friend, to sit in and give you some objective feedback. We actually have some checklists in the program that you can give to someone that will rate you. There's student evaluations, of course, but then there's also peer or instructor evaluations that will give you valuable input and feedback and enable you to get better. In order to improve, again, the resources here will deal with how you present, how you communicate, how you dress, even give you some tips for that. And then the other part that I think you'll find useful, especially now the fact that we're dealing with a wide range of people and experience, there's some reference material on how to engage Gen X, Ys, and the boomers. Because there's a good chance you're going to be dealing with various groups and ages in your training sessions. Everybody relates to this different. Everybody brings different experiences, different scenarios, different reference points. You need to equip yourself to be able to connect with them all. And then the last thing is how to use PowerPoint in an effective manner. You probably have been forced to sit through sessions where it has been PowerPoint overload and there's just too much material. Please don't be guilty of that. I've given you some tips and guidelines for the effective use and construction and design of PowerPoints. Look at them. There's a wealth of information on the internet. You can also get great reference books that provide you with information. But please don't rely on PowerPoint and handouts to do the job. They accentuate and enhance what you're doing. You're the star attraction. You've got to be the one that is the best person in the room by example. So you've got a ton of resources. Get familiar with them, customize them, and you're going to be effective as a teacher and as a coach.